Hello there. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wellness Wednesday. It is good to be back for another Wellness Wednesday. This month, September, we are focusing on environmental wellness. And I really want people to understand that there are so many things about our lives that God's word talks about and God cares about. And the environmental wellness aspect of things is really related to respecting creation as well as the physical environments that we are within. Um, so it's kind of a literal and a figurative word or phrase, but our environmental wellness is critical to our relationship with God because it helps us to re-acknowledge what God has created and how we treat what He has created, how we treat our physical spaces, and that is crucial when we talk about our spiritual well-being because oftentimes how we behave and act is reflected in our physical spaces. And so, if we don't take care of our physical spaces well, then we're most likely not also taking care of our spiritual or those intangible spaces at all either. So, I just wanted to come on and to encourage everyone to take care of those spaces. And I have just a few tips for you when it comes to environmental health and well being. Of course, this is a Wellness Wednesday, so we're going to always talk about our wellness journey and how we can improve the areas of our lives. And remember that every aspect connects back to spiritual, and God talks about all of these areas. Whether the word is talking about who we're around as far as people, the things that we have around us in our environment, the things that we allow in those environments, what is influencing us, whether we're talking about like God's literal creation, the mountains, the stars, the sky, the water, the trees, nature, those things. We are talking about environmental wellness, and our spirits being is connected to that. And so, if you ever have been in a place maybe of sadness before, or depression, or anything anxious, usually when you change, or you've been very worried about something, when you change that physical space, you get outside, you get some fresh air, you get some sunlight, you go to the beach. It always affects your mental space, how you think, how you interact with others. It puts you in a different mood. And so we cannot do this whole wellness journey and understanding our well being without hitting on the physical. So, one of the first things that I have for you as far as tips is concerned is to clean and organize your physical spaces. It is so, sometimes it helps you just get rid of it, declutters your mind when your physical spaces are more organized. It could be one room, one desk, one area at a time, but just taking a moment, 10 minutes at a time, maybe to even just clean and organize that space helps you to function differently. It helps you to prioritize things in your mind differently. Um, and so that is the one of the first things, and you'll be surprised how quickly you can clean and organize. Sometimes we hype it up in our head to take so long to do it. When in 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, you'll be surprised what you can actually get done. And it'll give you that motivation to keep going and to keep cleaning and to keep organizing. It's something we have to do as a regular habit, but it's always good to continue to maintain that habit of organizing. And as much as I like to have clean and organized spaces, I know how quickly things can get unorganized and not necessarily dirty, but just crowded. Right? You have a car, you got a back seat, you just toss some things in the back seat. Next thing you know, you got a back seat full of jackets and papers. And at some point, we have to clean those things out. You got to clean out that trunk. You got to clean out that extra bedroom. You got to clean off the couch. Just clean, organize. Just pick an area and do so, and just watch how that changes your environment, your physical space, and you're able to operate in a clear head. My second tip is for you to go outside and to intentionally enjoy God's creation. There is a big, beautiful sun outside. There is some form of water somewhere. There is nature all around us, whether it's birds, whether it's clouds in the sky, whether it's a tree. There is nature, and there is a beauty in the season that we're entering. We're entering the fall season here in America, and there's a beauty about the fall, about how much God has designed His creation to self-sustain. There's a time where there is renewal in the spring, there's growth in the summer, there's falling and renewing in the fall and winter, and He gives space for all of that. And when we look at creation in that way, it reminds us to do the same things in our lives. So we're getting to a point in our seasons where we have been growing, maybe there has been sprouting, and there has to be a time of pruning, possibly, and just renewing in our minds. So maybe taking a step back, taking time to relax, something for yourself. And going outside is a great reminder of that. If there is any sort of nature trail near you, a water feature near you, take time to go outside and pray and just spend time. I fortunately had the opportunity to be in Tybee Island this past weekend, and I just went to the beach by myself and just sat and watched the water. Like I just wanted to look at the waves, and it reminded me of like Job and how God was telling Job, like, were you there when I formed the depths of the waters and told the waves, the water where to stop? Like just where the waves come and the boundaries of creation. Sometimes if you don't indulge yourself in creation, you really forget the awe of what God created. And a lot of times we don't do enough justice in talking about God's creation and the environment that He designed. And we let science tell us how things operate instead of just going to observe how He operates things itself. So I think it's a wonderful thing to enjoy and indulge in creation. It's so beautiful. And then the last tip that I have for you is to contribute to the physical environment in some way. A lot of times we hear conversations about climate change. And it's unfortunate that there's climate that is changing because of human action. There may be more fires, there may be more floods, all sorts of things that are happening, pollution, because we're not taking care of what we should be taking care of. So whether your contribution to the physical environment looks like you doing just a cleanup outside your home, as far as like maybe a street near you that could have some trash picked up from it so that trash doesn't end up in the sewage when it rains and the water wipes it away and then that sewage end up in a river somewhere. Um, some way, shape, or form, there's something you can do to contribute to the environment. And so I just want to encourage you to think of ways that you're ready to grow to contribute to the environment. One time I was watching this documentary because I had gotten this goal that I wanted to like try to do a garden. And this documentary reminded me of how important just the soil is, the health of the soil is. And so it was encouraged people to compost. I was like, oh, that's a great idea. And just me starting a little compost pile in my backyard in some crates has just been really helpful for me to just see like, wow, this is the way that God designed these processes to work. Everything works together and everything breaks down and goes right back to dirt. And so that soil and the health of soil is super important. So I just want you to be able to choose something that you know you can do and something you can handle to be able to contribute to the environment. And all of these things that I'm giving you tips on will remind you of how you might connect to God in those ways. Like sometimes we get caught in, oh, did I read today? Oh, did I sing a song? Did I pray this particular prayer? And it's like, there are other ways that we neglect God that could have you help to reconnect to Him. And we just need to be reminded of some of those ways. And some of that is just going outside and appreciating His creation, letting His sun beat on you and just help your skin glow and give you the vitamins that you need. And so those are simple things to do. So don't neglect them, get them done, make your list, and let me know how it goes. So thank you all. Pass this message along to someone, and don't forget to follow me at Higher Ground Consulting, and the social media channels is Getting on Higher Ground. And I will see y'all next time.